Hello everyone, it's Helen here and thank you for joining me today. Now today I have a card that was requested that I make. This was on my blog a couple of weeks ago and I asked everyone if they would like a tutorial on how I made this, especially with the night sky. And I'm not too sure I've done Wink of Stella on this. It's really it is showing up. Sometimes it doesn't show up very well on camera. So here's my original blog post. This is on my website, and this is a really old phone, by the way, and I use this to help me out when I'm filming sometimes. So here's my project. The links will be down below, and right at the bottom it's got a list of everything that I used as well. So I'm going to have to fish out all of the colours here. There's quite a few here because I coloured in the mice. So I think I've pulled every single colour out. Okay, so let's get started on showing you how to make the card. Okay, so you're going to need a piece of Night of Navy. You need to trim that down to 6 by 6, and then you need to score it in half. So our card is going to measure 3 by 6. Grab my bone folder. Okay, that's our card base made. Now you're going to need a piece of watercolour paper. Okay, I've trimmed mine down. Let's quickly measure it. I can't remember it. Okay, so it measures 5 3/4 by 2.5. And you also need a bit of backing paper there. And you're going to need for the sky, soft sky, tempting turquoise, and Night of Navy. Now before we start on the sky, we're going to stamp our image first. I'm going to get out my archival stamping pad because we're going to be using our blender pens as well, so I don't want anything smudging. Now here's my stamp. It's already mounted up, but it's from the Merry Mice, which is reduced at the moment in our closeout sale, and all the details will be on my blog for getting your hands on that, and it will be retiring, so if it doesn't sell out it will be discontinued, I believe on the 3rd of January, so get your hands on that while you can. Okay, so let's stamp our image up first. I'm fully aware when I bash on my pads it can bash up onto the tripod, which isn't fun for you guys. So I'm just trying to be mindful of that. There's our image stamped. Now you may have noticed in my original card I didn't use any sort of mask, and some of the blue has leaked into some of the mice's faces, and on the bubble there, that should be white. So I've actually bought some drawing gum by Pebeo. I bought that online. You can find it on Amazon and eBay and online craft shops. So this is the first time I've used it. I'm going to use one of our what are they called, water brush pens. Okay, the barrel is actually empty. I mean, usually you'd fill this with water, but I'm just going to use it dry because it's nice and pointy as well. Nice thin nib there. So okay, so this is the first time I've used it, so bear with me. So what I'm going to do is paint in all the areas that I want to stay as white as possible. So a lot of people would use this for their watercolouring, but you can use it for your card making as well. So once this is dried, I can then do anything over the top of it, and then I can remove it with an adhesive, so an adhesive remover like a rubber or an eraser, and that will remove all of this off, and then we'll have our lovely white mice underneath ready for us to colour in. Okay, so I'm just going to finish this mouse, just the first one, and then I'm going to pause the video while I finish off all the others, and then I'm going to get my heat tool and dry this mask on the number 1 setting, which is for drying ink, and then we can start with our night sky. Okay, so I've painted everything on and I've washed my brush. Just want to make sure that you wash your brush when you're done with this stuff, just so it doesn't dry and set. Okay, I'm going to get my heat tool. No need to preheat it this time because we're just drying. So it's got 2 settings. Just going to use the first one. Okay, so it's mostly dry now. I've done as much as I can with the heat gun, and it is still a little bit tacky, so I'm going to leave that to air dry now, just for probably about 5 to 10 minutes. Now I've had quite a busy day actually, and my tea's gone cold. So, and I've only drank half of it, so I'm going to go make myself a cup of tea. Probably get some biscuits as well because it's mid-afternoon now, and hopefully that'll be all ready for us to do in a second. Okay, so that's had a bit of time to dry, and now we're ready to do our sky. Now I've tried this on a spare piece of watercolour paper. Now this is what it looks like with the sponge brayer, and this is what it looks like using the sponge daubers. Now if you don't know what I mean by the sponge brayer, Stampin' Up sell them as a set of 4 sponges and 2 handles, so you'd do that on the ink pad and then mount up your ink that way, or you can use one of our sponge daubers. Now I've used purple on this in the past, but all the purple's gone from it now, so it's ready for the blue. I'm going to be using this today, and we're going to start off with Soft Sky. I'm going to try not to rub on top of those mice too much. We don't want any of that masking fluid to come off. Okay, so I've just loaded up my ink, and I'm going to go in long strokes just like so. I'm going to start off the page first, slowly work my way onto it. Just trying to manoeuvre myself around the tripod. I will do my best not to knock it. Okay, this is definitely one of those processes where you build the colour up gradually. If you go on too heavy, you're going to end up with patchy bits of ink. Okay, so the idea is to have the darkest section towards the top and have it graduating lighter towards the bottom. We're going to have snow at the bottom, so because the mice are walking along in the snow on a lovely, nice Christmassy evening. Okay, I'm just building my colour down around here because there isn't anything here. Our sentiment's going to go there, but we can get away with going a little bit dark around the edge here. Okay, I think that's it for Soft Sky. Moving on to Tempting Turquoise. Went on a bit too heavy there, but I'm going to try and cover that up with a bit of Night of Navy. Just trying to be really careful around the mice. Just going to try little circles now just to blend all the lines in. Okay, that's what it looks like so far. Move on to Night of Navy. It's quite a dark colour. I'm just going to start off the page. Definitely, with the darker colours is definitely one that you need to build up quite slowly. Okay, I'm going to have to build up some more colour now, because this is quite dark. Just going to press a little harder now. Oh, there you go, I'll knock the tripod. And if you're wondering what that beep was, that is my phone that I'm filming on, and it's running out of battery. So I'm going to plug you guys in a second. I've had quite a busy day filming, so this will keep me going on the channel there for the rest of December. Okay, I'm just going to pause the video while I plug you guys in. Okay, got my wire plugged in. Let's carry on, just making this night sky a little bit more darker. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Just going to take off the excess before I put this back in my tin. I haven't got to the point yet where I have one for each colour, so I do wash them every now and then. And now I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to rub out all of that masking. There we go. That was the aim and it worked. Got a nice white mouse now, ready to be coloured. And a lovely white bobble as well on the hat. So yeah, definitely going to be using this masking fluid again. I mean, it wasn't that expensive, it was less than £5. And there's absolutely loads in there, and if I only used a small wash, then I know that that is definitely going to last me a while. So here it is again, just in case you wanted to have a look online for it. If you have the Stampin' Up adhesive remover as well, that's in our catalogue, that will work on this stuff as well, so if you have that already. If not, just a normal pencil rubber will do. Okay, on with the colouring in now. I've got my blender pens for this and my spare piece of paper as well. Okay, so you get these in a pack of 3 and they're double-sided as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to colour in one mouse for you and pause it and then come back once they're all done. Okay, so the first mouse is Pear Pizzazz. Now to get the colour on your palette, just squeeze it, not too hard because you'll crack your case, but enough to get some ink on the other side. Now we can use that as a watercolour with our blender pens, and you can also use it for watercolouring as a paint as well. So there's loads of options there. So we're going to start off with Pear Pizzazz. Just double check that there's no colour on that. No, that's colourless. Load up my pen. I'm going to start in long swipes, just like that, just to colour in his outfit. You can go in little circles as well. I would have a practice just to get you used to these pens, because as you can tell, you load up and it's darker as you load up, and then it gets lighter as you colour in, so you can get some nice tones built up there. So that's that one. This will dry lighter as well because it's still wet. Okay, that's it for Pear Pizzazz. Garden green next. As you can tell, most of my palettes have been used for this purpose. Okay, I'm going to colour in the present next. And I've done his scarf as well. That's it for garden green. So once you're finished with your colour, just swipe it off till it runs clear, and then you're ready for the next colour. This is a great way of extending your pads. Cherry cobbler next. We're going to go do the hat. And also the dots as well on the scarf. And the ribbon. And his belt. It looks like a belt anyway. It's the middle bit. Okay, and now I think I use Tip Top Taupe. Get this closed. There we go. Tip Top Taupe for his face. Okay, so watercolour paper and our shimmery white cardstock is absolutely perfect for using the blender pens on. You need something that will be able to take the brushing from the blender pens. Otherwise you may have fibres coming up if you actually do use normal cardstock. But watercolour paper and the shimmery white was designed for this sort of artistry. So there we go, and don't forget the tail. And his hand, and I just need to put a bit of red. I didn't put any red on there, but I think I'll put a bit of red on the cuffs of his sleeves as well. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video now. I'm going to finish everything else off and come back to you, and then I'll show you how to do the shimmery sky as well on top of that, and we'll just do the sentiment as well. Okay, so I'll see you in a few moments. Okay, so I finished my watercolouring, and I've also put on some sparkles there with the Wink of Cedar, so I'll quickly show you how I did that, just to quickly get my backing paper. Okay, so you squeeze it very slightly here just to get some of the stuff, I don't know what it's actually called, the sparkly bits, out of the barrel and down here. Okay, so point it at your work and then use your fingertip and your nail just to flick the end of the brush, just like so. So you may end up with some bigger blobs and some really finer blobs, but it's a really good effect. Okay, let's lift that up so you can see that. Hopefully it's coming up in the lights. Okay, and I've also added a bit of Tip Top Taupe at the bottom. I think Smoky Slate may have been a better colour to use, but I'm just going to carry on as it is. Just going to quickly wipe my finger. I don't want to contaminate any other things I'm touching today. Okay, so onto our sentiment now. Just need a scrap piece of Night of Navy. And I'm going to use embossing buddy because we're going to be using white embossing powder, and I don't really want to get extra white flecks on there. Okay, so I've taken the Merry Christmas. That's also from the same set, Merry Mice. Okay, so load it up with some Versamark. It's a bit wonky. Let's go the other side. We're going to trim this down anyway. yep, that's much better. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video now while I heat my tool, and then I'll come back again and do the powder for you. Get my lid off. I'm not going to bother with the spoon today. Okay, yep, I'm happy with that. I'm just going to let that cool down because I want to rub off all that the excess powder, and now we're going to stick reuse dimensionals to raise that up. So grab everything together so we can assemble it. I've still got a bit of embossing buddy on my fingers. Okay, you can also use foam tape as well, that's also in our catalogue. Okay, I'm just going to press the sides down just so I can get the backs off easily. The cat's attacking my foot. Got sharp claws. Maybe it's the time. It's probably his lunchtime, dinner time. Okay, pop that down. Okay, that's still drying. Sorry, setting. I think it might be okay now. Just rub all that powder off. Just wanted this to cool down. If you do rub over it when it's hot, it can smudge. Oh, I didn't heat emboss that side properly. Okay, let's trim this down. Just need to put that there so I can see what I'm doing. Gonna leave some space after the exclamation. There we go. Get our snips now to make our little fish tail. No, wrong card. Took the wrong card away. I'm going to stick that over there. I think I might need to trim a little bit more off there. It's going to be a bit fiddly. This is where the perfectionist monster appears. Just as you're finishing off the project, out it comes. Yep, that's much better. Stick that on with dimensionals again, and then just to finish off the card I'm going to use the Wink of Stella again on, I think I just put it on his hat, yeah, just the hat. Where is the wing? There it is. Okay, I'm going to go over the bobble as well. I'm going to do her, I left this white. I wasn't too sure about colouring it in green. I mean, you get a lot of coats with white collars, so I'm just going to put a bit of Wink of Stella on there. And that's it, really. That's the card finished. Now, to write inside it, I would use a gold or a silver pen, preferably silver because we've used the silver sort of wink of feather there. Or you could put another page mat down the same size as this, and that would make it easier for you to write in any old pen then that you're comfortable writing with. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you need any of the information, they're on my blog, the link's down below. And if you like this sort of video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you do like this sort of video, please let me know and I'll do some more artist type cards for you in the future. And I'll see you next time.